Welcome to the Boston's Big Four podcast. Cast. New news about music and sports every week, sometimes.
All right, we're back. Episode 93, Boston's Big Podcast. We got a very special guest with us, long awaited. We've been, looking to get him on for a while now. We got Riggz with us,
Yes,
BC High Zone.
Yes, sir.
Been doing a lot with the music lately. You got Soul Sundays going on right now, dropping a single every Sunday. How you been, man? You're down in Atlanta right now. How's life
man.
down in the A?
Down in Atlanta right now, loving it, man. One thing that's always been consistent, regardless of where I was living, it's all been about the women. It's always been about the women. So I'm enjoying that down here as well. You know what I'm saying? Music is amazing down here. Like, there's so many creative people to work with as well. But I'm back and forth in Boston as well all the time. So, you know what I mean? I can't complain. God is good. Life is good. You know what I mean? Just feeling good in the midst of this pandemic.
Yeah, that's great. And I mean, it's funny too, because we mention Atlanta a lot as like an inspiration for what Boston could be as a music city. We love the scene in Atlanta, and like you mentioned, there's a lot of good people. And something that I see, just someone outside looking in, there's a lot of good collaboration. I think people are willing to put each other on. They want to work with each other, and I'm kind of curious how, and we'll get into everything else. I'm curious, you made the move from Boston to Atlanta. How did you feel like in the initial, like, what was that first experience like, being in the music scene in Boston and then now Atlanta? Does it feel different, like how I've described it, or like, what is your experience there?
Yeah, dude. So it feels totally different being in the music scene in Boston than it does being in Atlanta. So like, one thing that I hear a lot about Boston's music scene is that people like don't really help each other, and it's a lot of crabs in the barrel mentality. But like, that's not really what I came across when I was in Boston, right? Because when I came back to Boston, it was after I graduated from college, and I was in 2014. And so when I came back, I jumped right in, started going to like ciphers, and started going to open mic showcases and shit like that. And so like, I was really hitting the ground hard, just trying to like meet different people who was already in the scene and already established. So like, from just being involved in the scene and being involved in the community, like I met a lot of friends and made a lot of people that way, you know what I mean? So I had a lot of collabs. I met some lifelong friends doing music shit, you know what I mean? And like, even if we didn't get to collab on an actual song, like there's people who I support in Boston's music scene, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? So time was a little bit different in Boston. We had this thing called Mind Spray back in the day. And Mind Spray was like a monthly open mic showcase, but there was also like performances, like headlining performers as well. And we used to do it at Wonder Bar. It used to be at Middle East, and then it was at Wonder Bar. Okay. And I started cutting my teeth in that when I first came back, just trying to build a name for myself. Because I came back from college like, yo, like what's going on in the Boston music scene? Like, it's not really going crazy because Stiz wasn't out then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Michael Christmas had just started getting started, you know what I mean? But nobody was really like stepping out. Like it was really that one, except for like Malfi. Y'all remember Malfi?
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
with an F, right? Yeah. Okay.
We're trying to figure out where he is or what he's doing. But...
No fucking idea, man. Malfi and Sammy Adams was lit too, kind of when we was in college and shit like that.
Oh man, Sammy Adams, whatever happened to him though? He had like 2 hits. I'm probably selling him short. I bet he had an album.
You know what I mean? So I came back, I was like, oh shit, I know I'm nice. Like, I know I'm nice with the pen, so let me just start going to ciphers and shit. And I met a bunch of dope people. I started going to those Mind Spray events. Like a year later, I ended up hosting them shits, you know what I mean? And just started meeting a lot of people around the city and doing shows and shit. Next thing you know, like I got my own fan base built up, and I'm throwing shows at the fucking House of Blues. I was like, this is fucking amazing.
Oh, you know? How did I miss this? You had a show at the House of Blues?
Yeah, that shit was fucking amazing too. For like my first album that I put out, my first album, Business Casual, we did an album release party at the House of Blues in the Foundation Room, completely sold that shit out. To the pack, that shit was like packed to the brim, bro. Like I made so much money that night. Was able to put my people on it and like show my people a good time with that shit, man. So that was dope. So I love Boston forever. And I think that scene isn't as popping as it could be. Then, I get down here to Atlanta and I kind of got to start over at playing Step A again, you know what I mean? And just meet new people and do open mics and shit like that. So I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I've been using the cheat code since I've been down here in Atlanta. Like, I haven't really hit any open mics and shit like that. I haven't been doing all of that stuff. Like, I came down here and I already had a team in place because one of my best friends from college moved down here after we graduated. And he's an engineer. He's fucking amazing. Like, engineers for BET shows with Murder Inc. and all that shit like that. So like, my boy Juice is super amazing on the boards and stuff. And so he was kind of plugged in when I came down here. Then we got to working on the album, went on tour with Big Crit, did a song with T-Pain and shit like that. I met a whole bunch of people, like was on tour with Rhapsody, Damani Harris, you know what I'm saying? So like, I've met all of these people and know these folks now, you know what I mean? It's cool. Like, got contacts and numbers in my phone, you know what I mean? So it's like,
that's unbelievable.
Oh, shit,
yeah, we've been following that, and I can't believe, just the names we're seeing and the progress. I mean, not only that, the quality of your music, like,
appreciate you, man.
Is great, and I love the tag. I just need some juice. That's so fun. It's gonna be fire when you hear that.
You know it's about to slap when you hear that. Yes.
Facts.
So talk about the Big Crit collaboration. How'd that connection come about?
Yo, that connection is crazy. So I came home one time. I think I was there for the summer, and my boy Marcus that I went to college with was like, yo, Big Crit's doing a show in Boston. You should go. It was a free show that they did at where the fuck was that? It was a Rubber Tracks Converse show, and Michael Christmas was on it with Big Crit, and it was it at the Sinclair? Something like that. I think it was at the Sinclair. It was free or whatever. I didn't have a ticket when I pulled up. Didn't know I needed one. Anyways, my boy Tim Nyan was like, yo, jump in line with me. I know a dude who can get you a ticket. Boom. I jumped in line. I saw Crit, and I was like, holy shit, this dude's my favorite fucking rapper. Because I never seen anybody jump up and down on a stage with his voice being crystal clear for a fucking hour. I've never seen it before. And I was like, yo, this dude's big like me, because he was like 220 at the time. And he's just like jumping up and down, leaping on stage, ripping. Every line sounds just like the recording. And the whole crowd is eating out of the palm of his hand. I was like, this is my favorite fucking rapper, dog. The tracks was hype. He had amazing lyrics. I was like, what the fuck is life right now? My music sucks.
That's an interesting thing, the acrobatics of like, you got to have your cardio up and be ready to be talking at the same time, like with actual melody. I mean, have you, and I'm sure this is like, might be a little wild. Do you ever like sing while you're exercising or rap while you're exercising to keep
dude. Like I used to run verses the whole time, like getting ready for shows. Every time I had a show coming up, I would get on the treadmill and run miles and like just try to rap my verses and not be out of breath. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that shit is a fucking feat. You know what I mean? I would never do it successfully, really. You know, and really get all the words out. But it definitely helps when you're on stage. You can tell that you've at least been training for it, you know, and it's not quite as rigorous as when you're running. So,
yeah, that's awesome.
Is that something that other artists that you know of have done, or did you come up with that on your own?
I just came up with that just because every step of my life, you know, I've been trying to like bring music to the athletic side of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And just trying to be prepared, you know, and I'm not new to this music shit, man. It's not like I just picked up a microphone one day and was like, yo, I want to be a rapper. You know what I mean? Like I was in jazz band in high school. You know, I was an all-state jazz musician in high school, playing drums and xylophone in a jazz band. And I'm a fucking church boy. You know what I mean? So I grew up playing drums in church from the age of 6 and started touring with different gospel groups at the age of 11. So, you know, it's not like I just started out with this music shit. So I was around a lot of really great musicians that kind of showed me how to be a good showman and stuff like that very early on. But to finish with the Crit shit, to make a long story very short, I saw him first there. He was my favorite rapper. My ex-girlfriend Christian got me a ticket when he was at the Middle East on tour, like a year before I did a collab with him, and she got me a meet and greet ticket. And I met
all right.
Crit.
So I remember you posted a picture with him online, and I was like, I commented, I was like, we need a Riggz Big Crit collab, and you were like, man, that's got to happen. And then like a year later, it happened.
Year later, dog. Like so, I'm making Adult Swim. I'm like, this song sounds fucking amazing. Juice made this hot ass beat. I was like, dog, this song sounds fucking amazing. We need this feature. Nah. He emails Dutch, who he was in contact with before, because we wanted to get a Crit feature before, but we just didn't have the money. So he emailed Dutch. business was good or whatever, you know what I mean? And so we had the money this time around to make that shit shake. Ended up hitting it off. We was like, yo, this shit rocks. Let's do the video. Did the video, you know what I mean? Next thing you know, we have fucking Christmas parties and shit kicking it. Like it is what it is.
That's
now,
wild.
You know what I mean?
That's
and now
wild.
He's a cool ass dude.
I mean, because not only did you do the song with him, you got him in the video. Like you're in a video with him. You got the Red Sox hat on, so you're repping Boston. So
always,
you know, I was hyped when I saw that.
Yeah, always, man. Yeah. For y'all who haven't seen it, go check out Chill on YouTube right now. That shit was on BET and shit too. I was like, this is nuts.
It's super catchy. I'm always just like, girl, why can't we just chill? I'm loving it. It's just getting me going.
Man,
we lost him for a sec. It's all good. I actually back in, relocated.
Yep.
So we were talking about Chill.
Yeah.
He's in the video repping Boston.
I cut off right when you were singing the song, Owen.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it sounded
was a decent rendition, man. It was a decent cover for sure.
Working on it, yeah. I love to.
But I do want to talk about the T-Pain collab too.
Yo, that shit's nuts, bro.
How did you get T-Pain on a track? Great song too.
Bro, appreciate that shit, man. Money for you. I still feel like that shit didn't do everything that it was supposed to do. Yeah, like I think when I actually run into T-Pain and we talk about it, you know what I mean? Like maybe there'll be a video for that, or maybe I just fucking missed the window or some shit like that. But that T-Pain joint, man, just came through some connections that we had, and I was like, yo, I already got one of my idols on a song, you know what I mean, in Big Crit, and I was like, yo, T-Pain would have to be like one of my biggest influences ever. Like, you know what I mean? I fucking love T-Pain growing up. I used to have his shit on repeat in high school in my fucking 97 Altima, cruising down Morrissey Boulevard, bumping T-Pain's 3 Rings album. So I had a couple connects, man, and me and Juice had some connects, and we had to make that shit shake.
Gotta make use of those connects. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude.
And
T-Pain's definitely a legend.
Together, or were those verses like mailed?
Yeah, so we had to work through email on that one because T-Pain was he wasn't in the state at the time. You know what I mean? He lives here in Atlanta, but he wasn't in Atlanta when we were trying to get everything done with that shit. And that shit just takes a whole lot longer of a process, a whole lot more time, because you got to deal with folks as lawyer and shit like that. You know what I mean? So like even after the song was done, it was all about the lawyer saying, okay, we'll agree to this, we'll agree to that, we'll agree to this, we'll agree to that. And you know what I mean? And then like when you're trying to push music out, if you're not signed to a major and you have like big name artists on your shit, sometimes like the people that you may distribute through, like whether it's DistroKid or whether it's CD Baby or whatever the fuck you use, they're like, yo, you don't fucking have this artist on here. You know how many people try to bullshit us all the time and say that you have this person on the album and it's really not? And so like we had to jump through hoops to get them to clear that as well. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
That's tough. Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. People try to lie about having people on their songs.
Yeah. So it shows up on their artist page and all that shit like that. But nah, this was really a real one.
Wow. I think I just found a good use of NFTs, right? So if you got an NFT attached to the song, you submit it. That can't be faked, right? So
right.
I mean, who knows? Maybe someday it will be. But that's the move. I mean, that's interesting. I've heard of people having trouble, like they change their name slightly and they can't get the same songs back up, which is a whole thing. But
yeah, bro.
You changed your name, right? You went from Riggz to
I did change my name. Yeah.
Have you experienced that?
Yeah, I used to be Riggz Too Nice, and then I just changed it to Riggz. And I was cool that not everything came over. I did have my choice of what records that I wanted to come over. And you know, now like I feel different now, and I want to change my fucking name again. You know what I mean? I don't know what it's gonna be yet, but you know, sometimes I kind of want to be Damn Riggz. Sometimes I want to be Emmanuel. You know what I mean? Sometimes like I just want to use my actual name and like put out records. You know what I mean? I'm just evolving every day as I get older. You know.
So this is
just trying to take my time.
Interesting segue, actually. So if you have multiple names in mind, would you ever consider making projects like in those almost personalities? Or I guess they're you in a sense, so you wouldn't be making different personalities. But it kind of makes me think of what you've been doing with Soul Sundays, the whole Uncle Leroy thing. And I think we were saying this
Yeah.
off mic. You're a man of many
Yes,
talents.
yes.
You're the actor, you're a singer, you're a rapper, you're putting it all together, and it's all quality. Like, I love those Uncle Leroy skits. I'm sending them to people like, look at this. Like, it's perfect. And then it's comedy, it's acting, and it's an ad all at once. And I eat that stuff up. That is my favorite. So
Word.
I commend you on that. Where did that idea come from? Do you have an Uncle Leroy?
Bro, I don't have an Uncle Leroy, but I do have an Uncle Leroy at the same time. So
Okay.
like Uncle Leroy is a blend of people who've had significant impact on my life. Like my dad is from fucking Macon, Georgia. My dad is also so old that when he was in Macon, Georgia, it was called Dry Branch, Georgia. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a mix of him. It's a mix of a guy who used to drive me to school, one of my dad's drivers, because he owns a transportation company, where he did back in the day. So one of my dad's drivers named Mr. White, and he's a fucking lunatic. So it's a mixture of him, my dad, all my uncles, like, and you know, a little bit of Riggz swag in there too. You know what I'm saying? Just all combined to make Uncle Leroy, man. And but to answer your question, like, I do think that, you know, I eventually will start using these other personas or different parts of my personality to put out different music, because like right now I'm focusing on R&B and shit like that, but I do miss rapping because I feel like people don't rap well enough. So I'm like, yo, somebody still gotta put out some hard ass records that got content in them, you know what I mean? So I'm like, maybe I'll start rapping again, but really only do like hard ass shit, you know what I mean, since I get to sing on this side. So I'm thinking about it, you know.
Yeah, I like that. And that was something we were saying before you came on here, is you're just super versatile with the Soul Sundays is awesome. And then you listen to your old stuff. Like, I bump Big Break all the time. Like, I love that too. And those are like fun.
I love that one.
Just fun, hard songs, and it's good. And I
Remember
I
the
will
Drip?
say-
I love that one too.
My shit.
I bumped that one a lot. I bumped
my boy
that one
Bricks
a lot.
Monopoly wrote that shit. Where he wrote the beat for that joint. My boy Bricks. He's down here in Atlanta too. His sister is amazingly hot. Anyways.
Shout out his sister.
Shout out
to his sister, dog. I miss her. I'm about to text her after this. What the fuck?
Oh boy. Yeah, we shoot all our shots on this podcast, so I love that.
Oh God.
Oh yeah. Shooters shoot.
That's it.
I do think it's funny though how you said that. I think the real pandemic though is whack rapping right now. So we do got to fix that. And there's plenty of good rap out there, but there's a lot of not good rap. So
That's a fact.
We got to remind people once in a while. So I would appreciate, if you throw some singles or an album out. I don't know what you got in the vault, but let's get it.
Dog, I got mad. So when I decided to make the transition to R&B, Juice was like, I think this is a good idea, like blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right, bet. And then I started thinking about it one day as I was going through some beats that I'd made. I was going through some different things, and I was like, holy fuck, I got like 40 rap records that have just never come out. Like, it's like I've been hoarding these for the right time. Damn. And I got like 40 fire ass rap records that have never come out. When the fuck am I gonna put these out? Like, we'll see.
Yeah, another common theme on this podcast
good problem
is
to have,
the
I guess.
Skrelly Bucks. Have somebody buy it, like that Wu-Tang exclusive album. That's what we're talking about. Don't release one for 40 years and then put it out later. It'll be I love that stuff. That's another thing. Like, if you put them out like in maybe like not necessarily distributed places, like if you just put one of those up on SoundCloud, like as a single or something. I love that when I'm looking through an artist's catalog and you got their albums, you got their EPs, and every once in a while there's some singles sprinkled through. But then you're like, I can only find this on SoundCloud, and it's still fire, and it's something that they don't advertise as much, you know? And I love those little gems when people pop those out. And I mean, not telling you what to do, but I would love to hear one of those.
Bro, it's all about feedback. It's all about feedback. I got some records, man. I can email you some shit too.
Absolutely.
One of these old days, bro. Because I feel like music is to be shared, and they don't do no good if they're on my fucking laptop alone. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, that's huge.
Facts.
So
how much longer are you planning on going with the Soul Sunday thing?
Bro, so right now, I'm letting it rock right now, bro. I'm letting it rock right now.
Yeah.
I want to say, like, I'm just.
How many weeks in are you? I feel like it's been a while.
Yeah, I'm down 7 weeks deep right now. Coming up on 8.
Okay.
And so, I want to say, like, I'm flying by the seat of my pants and just releasing music as I feel. But like, originally, I'm thinking that the first season of Soul Sunday is going to be 12 weeks. So I'll do it for 3 months straight. and then
Okay.
and then then I'll recalibrate or maybe take a week or two to myself and put something out. But I got a couple of plans. I don't want to give it all away right now, mainly because I got to figure out how much it's going to take for me to execute what I want to plan, and how much money this is going to fucking cost me. Because I swear, music is like a woman that doesn't love you, bro. It's like you spend all your money on it, and she don't necessarily give you what you need. So
yeah.
It's been therapeutic more than anything right now, though. Just to be releasing music and stuff like that. Because I took a while off from just dropping music and shit. I was always creating, but I took a while off because my life had just been so fucking complicated recently. You know what I mean? Like, I just had my first daughter. Like, you know what I mean?
Congratulations.
And,
that's awesome.
Yeah, congratulations, by the way.
Appreciate it, man. I just had my first daughter 9 months ago, and almost 10 months ago. And you think about it, and it's like, okay, so the baby's only 9 months old. But it's like, I've been a dad for the whole time that her mom was pregnant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And my life was upside down from the second that I found out that she was pregnant. And I was like, oh shit, like, responsibility is here now. It's not just me that I have to care about, So I had to take time and grow with that shit and learn how to navigate being a dad, and learn how to like navigate like taking care of a little girl and making sure that, she's all set and she has everything that she needs. And I'm still working on it. You know what I mean? Thank God her mom's amazing and shit. But so I just took time away from the music, you know what I mean? And like a lot of music that I wrote during that time was just all about me trying to figure out how to navigate this shit. You know what I mean? And so like, I still was feeling like I was kind of like depressed at times. I was anxious at times. I was excited at times. You know what I mean? I was overjoyed at times. I was enraged at the fact that like my life wasn't where I wanted it to be at times. Yeah. And then I realized I'm not getting no relief, and I couldn't figure out why. And then Juice was like, yo, put a song out every week. I was like, okay, tell me more.
Feel better. Yeah.
he's like, Soul Sundays hold you accountable, takes off all the pressure of having to put out something perfect every week, blah, blah, blah. He was like, people will tell you what they like. I was like, you're fucking right. And he was like, and it'll give you time to exercise your pen and stuff like that. Cause I also write for artists and shit like that too. I produce for artists as well. So like Soul Sundays holds me accountable, gives me a release like therapy. And you know what I mean? It allows me to practice my skills and shit like that. So when it is time for me to jump in the studio with somebody down here and get to the paper, like I got records to write and I got a pen that's working, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I feel like there's no better inspiration than having a child too, for like, in terms of putting your emotions out there. And if you're good at translating that, like with a pen, you can really like bring people into that feeling. Cause I mean, personally, I don't know what that feels like. So like, if you can like vividly describe like how you were saying all those emotions, I'm like, man, that makes a lot of sense. Like, you're just like, man, not now. And like, but awesome, but yes, but but what if, and you're like all these things, like, I just can imagine those feelings all well up and can turn into great music. And obviously you have the talent to be able to do that. So that's a blessing in that way too, where you kind of have now, I guess, the different topics now of your life, and it's just a new stage, and that's how things will happen from now on. That's awesome. And I think probably Soul Sundays is a great way to do that, getting into the soul when you're starting to feel like that deep love. I've heard people explain, it's very weird how, like, when they're first looking at their child, you do, and you said it, it's like, it's not about you, you start to realize that there's just more. And like, because we get so caught up in that, especially we're young men in our 20s, it's just like, it's been all about me pretty much. Like, and now when that happens, you're like, oh boy, okay, I can do this. And that's so congratulations. That is awesome. And I'm looking forward to what's coming out from that.
Word,
of course,
I appreciate that.
Take the time you need off when you're doing when you're getting things ready. But you mentioned that you produce for other people. And I was going to ask you actually, because I know you work with Juice, but do you, so you make like some of your own beats and you produce for yourself as well as other people. So how long have you been doing that, and what got you into that?
Yeah, man. So what got me into that was just cutting my teeth in music real early. I probably got really started with production at like at like 14 or 14 or 15 or whatever. So like before every producer started in the world started using Fruity Loops, like I found that shit on the internet as a free software and was like banging out beats on the keyboard in like the computer keyboard and shit like that. It was making beats off of that shit at like 14 or 15, not really knowing what the fuck was in my hands. You know what I'm saying? And then as I started going to like Berkeley for music programs and in city music and shit, I started realizing I was like, oh, production's actually a thing. So like, oh, I could really make beats and like actually get money doing this shit and actually put out songs to the world for the world to hear. So that's when I got started, like kind of at 14. But you know, like shout out to my mom for making me take all those piano lessons that I hated going to on Saturday mornings and the drum lessons that I hated going to on Saturday mornings and shit like that when I wanted to just hang out with my friends and shit. She was like, yo, go make friends at these lessons and at these programs and shit like that. And I did. And it's just always worked out for me, you know. It's like that's the thing about having great parents. So you know, I bought my mom a lot of Gucci bags growing up and a lot of bags and shit like that because like I had a job since I was 11 playing drums and shit like that. It had nothing to do with the bread, you know what I mean? Right. Like I had savings, but I also had spending money. So I was like, who better to spend it on than my mom for Mother's Day and shit like that. So I would like just go out with my sister, like take me to this store, let's buy Ma this, like let's get her that, blah, blah, blah. And like you make a ton of fucking money as a musician when you're good. So I've been kind of spoiled off the rip.
Well, that's nice. Yeah. And I'm sure your mom appreciated that. That's a good,
sure.
a good way to bring it around. Like
you
were nice. Given talent and you brought back actual, like something to show for it. And I feel like a lot of people kind of work so hard and don't always. And it's interesting you said that there is a lot of money to be made in music, but you got to know how to make it. Right. And I feel like that's, some people don't. And that's like, you got to figure out how to get your, and you've dealt with that a lot. It sounds like, especially more recently with the lawyers and the publishing kind of things. And that stuff is infinitely more complex, but that's, and it's really good. You also cultivated it at a young age. I meant to ask you, I noticed there was a video I was seeing where it was very obvious you knew how to play the piano. Like some people, you can tell they're just one finger tapping on something and they're like, this is a dope beat, but they pretty much made the whole beat and they're like kind of playing the loop as they pretend to be playing it live. And you were really playing it. And I was like, wow, okay, you know how to play piano. And that's like, I imagine you can read music and stuff too. That's probably gotta be, that's a whole nother level that I think is gotta be rare. Are there people that you deal with these days that can also, like, do you find yourself on a level because you started like that with true music, actually reading notes and stuff like that? And I could be ignorant in this, maybe everyone in studios can do that these days, but I get the feeling that that's not the case.
Bro, that's not the case at all. Like, and that's also the dope thing about music though. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, maybe one studio out of every 10, there's an actual musician in there. You know what I'm saying? Or a person who's not an actual musician, but a person who is like classically trained. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's in Atlanta anyways. In Atlanta, like a lot of these cats in Atlanta who make the music in the hip hop field, like a lot of R&B cats know their shit. A lot of R&B cats came up just like I did in church and shit like that. So they know how to play and read music and all that shit. But like a lot of hip hop cats, like were just dudes who had an ear for the music and, you know, had a computer or went to their homeboy's crib and started banging shit out on their computer. And now all of a sudden the fucking Metro Boomin or our Lex Luger or our, you know, all these other super producers take heat. You know what I'm saying? And that shit is so fucking amazing to me because I'm like, yo, you literally only had a fucking PC, not a MacBook. You had a fucking Dell or HP, and now you're making millions, and now you're making amazing beats, and you're making shit that people feel all off of shit that you just had, bro. And it's like, that is amazing. But, you know, it's not lost on me that, like, I have specific advantages. Like, if I'm not making money off of records that I'm putting out, I know how to, I can still go make money off of music. I can go play in churches on Sundays by playing drums. I can go, you know what I mean? I can go play in a bar every night of the week down here for live entertainment. You know what I'm saying? I can go play in studio sessions for producers and shit who want live drums or who want keys on their shit. You know what I mean? I know how to stack harmony so I can arrange vocals for different singers and shit like that. So it's like, there's a lot of shit that just comes with it when selling music isn't necessarily the easiest or most profitable thing to do.
Yeah, and everything you just described, I think is to many people, and especially like to me, if I was going to try to make a song or something, I feel like maybe I could vocalize something, but like everything you're talking about, creating the harmonies, like mixing stuff and knowing how to piece it together in a smart way is a superpower in my mind. And I think that ties a studio together. And if you don't have somebody like that involved at some point in the process, it's probably going to not be the best music for a while. And some people do grind that out and then they throw away their old music and then just keep making better music and just keep making those steps up. But it's huge to have somebody like that in the process. And it's awesome. I mean, do you find when you're working with people that, and this can be, you know, tooting your own horn a little bit, that would the project not have been the same without you?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I think it would have been different without me. But also at the same time, toot, motherfucker. Like, yeah, I think it would have been the same without me, man. And that's what I pride myself on. And it all comes down to like not having an ego. You know what I mean? Because it's not always about, like, a lot of people go into the studio and they're like, yo, I'm gonna bring this to the album because nobody does this shit better than me. It's like, whoa. I'm gonna just sit back and listen at first. You know what I mean? I'm gonna trust my ear and listen. And if they got it and I think the record's perfect and I don't have anything to add, I'm not just gonna put my hand in there just because I need to say I contributed something. Like, if it's perfect, then it's perfect. But if there's something I can add to it, like, I think that's so dope being able to say, hey, let me just put this on top of what you already did. And now it's like, what do you think about it now? You know what I mean? So it's definitely a blessing to be of value every time you step into a room. And I gotta thank my mom for that. And I think that's what's missing from music a lot of the time nowadays, especially because it's more gimmicky and it's not really based on how talented you are. So I think that like a lot of people who are actually talented aren't seeing the success that they could because it's so oversaturated. You know what I mean? But if you're really talented, there's value for you in every room that you go into.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And what do you prefer? Do you prefer production or do you prefer being the person like performing?
I'm a performer, man. I'm a performer.
That's what I was thinking, but I had to ask.
Yeah, I'm a performer. I'll do whatever pays the fucking bills, but I'm a performer for sure. And it's totally unrelated, but holy shit, Jordan Lucas, what the fuck, bro? Like, he's putting out some dope ass shit right now.
Man, I haven't even watched the video he just put out yesterday, but I saw some clips. He's got Mark Wahlberg in there.
Fucking Mark Wahlberg, Diddy, George Lopez, like
crazy.
Yeah, I was surprised when he got Chris Brown, he did that track with Chris Brown.
Yeah.
He
has a couple tracks with Chris Brown. They were gonna drop an album together.
Right.
But we had his producer on. We had his producer on recently, Knox Beats. And he was he got flown out to Chris Brown's mansion in LA. Like, he was telling us some crazy stories. That's Joyner's really doing some amazing things.
Yeah, he's fucking dope, yo. He is fucking dope. And like, I fuck with Joyner specifically because, you know, he's an older cat, you know what I mean? And it's just doing the shit his way. You know, a lot of trial and error has gone into him being as dope as he is right now. And I think that's just a testament to everybody who's like, I'm really talented. I love this, but like, let me go ahead and quit because it's not happening the way or the time that I wanted to. It's like, yo, keep going with your shit. Like, even if you're doing it.
And I feel like nowadays more so than ever, people are blowing up at a later age. Like Joyner, like he was around 30 when he started to blow. Like Griselda, they're all, you know, in their 30s or almost 40. Millie's is like 35 and he's just really starting to blow right now. So age doesn't matter as much as it did 10 years ago, 20 years ago. It doesn't seem.
Right. As long as you're a cool ass motherfucker, man, there's space for you. Plenty of space. You just got to make your own fan base. And that's the thing. Like, you got to make your own fan base, bro.
Yeah, definitely. And bringing back the Joyner thing, and this is like he started, and the way I discovered him, which I think a lot of people did, was the storytelling videos, like the one where he had the kid getting like followed, like taken to the neighborhood.
Ross Cappuccioni.
Yeah, and just he had a few, and honestly, I'm blanking on them now, but I just remember being like, I'm watching stories, and like, and songs are fun and catchy, but like when you're watching a story, it's just the entertainment value shoots up. And I feel like and Riggs, you do this too, like with anything, all your visuals, the Uncle Leroy stuff, like everything. You're, and we were saying like you're an actor as well. You definitely are embodying that. And can we expect more skits? I think we should, but I want, yeah, I'm looking forward to them.
I got some fucking ideas, man. I got some ideas. It's so it's capital. It's capital. It's like human capital, like having people that you can work with, you know what I mean, and people who are available at the time. Because especially right now, everybody's got so much shit going on. So trying to organize things with a bunch of people, and you know, and like get everything shot and filmed and put out music consistently, and you know, still have time to write the scenes and shit like that is real tough. So maybe I'll take the little intermission after this 12 weeks to kind of get all of that stuff together. But yeah, man, I definitely got some ideas for some skits and longer form videos anyways, you know what I mean? That's not necessarily a music video, but we're intertwined. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, if you ever need bodies, we're here. If you're ever up in Boston needing bodies, or I'll fly down. I want to be in videos. So yeah, hit us up.
Word. All right, bet. Say less.
I want to be in videos, he says.
Yeah, I just do. But yeah, no, I love that. That's awesome. And so you mentioned Big Crit and T-Pain were big influences on you. Is there anybody else like that you feel that you've kind of like adopted that style coming up, or maybe you've grown into just your own style from that? I mean, it could just be them.
I'm inspired by a ton of people. Big Crit, T-Pain, D'Angelo was a huge inspiration for me. Nowadays, like Teddy Pendergrass is a huge inspiration for me. I'm a huge fan of fucking Beyonce, just from like the entertainer perspective. You know what I'm saying? And she's fucking amazingly hot. But
who doesn't like Beyonce? Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You gotta love Beyonce.
Hot, but like I'm a big fan of Beyonce and shit like that. You know what I mean? And I just try to be inspired by as many different musicians as I can. Like I'm even inspired by Soulja Boy at times. Like, you know what I mean? And how fucking how
can you not be? The way he markets himself and whatnot. There's definitely things, yeah. Even if you don't like the music, there's things you can pull from like someone like Soulja Boy or even like Lil Pump. You know, even if you think their music's trash, there's a reason that they are where they are. So you should try to take what you can from that.
Exactly. And I think that's what a lot of people don't recognize these days. Like a lot of people see people doing well and they just all of a sudden just hate on it. And it's like, dog, that energy is not fucking getting you anywhere, bro. It's like
I've been guilty of it before for sure. But then you realize
it's like, oh, so you think they're whack, but they're way more successful than you. Okay, so take some notes. What are they doing that you're not doing?
You got to do an audit, yo. You got to do an audit. Right. You got to see what's going on with you first. You know what I mean? And, And these guys are successful for a reason. Like some of that shit. So none of this shit pops off without having a little bit of luck. First off, you know, you gotta have some luck. But at the same time, it's like also you gotta see a fucking opportunity and notice when it's the opportunity. You gotta know where the luck is. Luck doesn't always slap you in the face all the time and say, "Hey, this is me." You know what I mean? You gotta be able to recognize it. Like, oh shit, I did this. People like it. I need to run with this. Like, you know what I mean? And so Soulja Boy was great at doing that. He put a video up on YouTube one day. That shit went crazy. He was like, oh, bet I should keep doing this. But how many people have done that and missed their window because they didn't realize that that's what the fuck they were supposed to be doing? You know what I mean? Right. So, you know, so I'm inspired by like everybody. And, you know, I just try to take inspiration from wherever I can. Like a lot of the times it's like, I'm inspired by fucking Gary Vaynerchuk, you know what I mean? Or Grant Cardone and like different cats like this, you know what I'm saying? And it's like not even all just music shit. It's just like life shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
J. Cole's my favorite rapper right now, but that'll change when Kendrick drops again. You know what I mean? So it's like shit just changes.
Where has Kendrick been? He's got to be cooking up. There's no way. It's just like been,
there's something coming. There's got to be.
There's something coming that's gonna make the ground swell, man. And you know, like I'm waiting on it. But if he's just enjoying his life too right now, I can understand that shit. He got a family. Like,
yeah. Also, yeah. All the artists out there, take some time to enjoy your life. Take some, you know, separate yourself from the music when you need to. I mean, I feel like that's super important.
Thanks, man.
I saw somebody explaining once, it was how like musicians often are not selling you music, they're selling you themselves. So the marketing aspect of it is not really like, you find the music as a result of it, and that's kind of what you associate people with. But half the time it's like, and we were talking about the, like, you might see someone that you think their music isn't good or something, and you're like, wow, how are they even famous? It's because they marketed the hell out of themselves on the way up. Like, and this is extreme, but I think of like Riff Raff as a great example. I really
Fucking
thought
Jody High Roller.
I love
Dude,
Riff
no,
Raff.
that's a good
now.
example. That's a good example.
Yeah, and I did not like him. I remember in like 2013 being like, what is this? Like, there's no way this is good. It's not gonna stay good. Like,
I'll never forget the first time I saw Riff Raff. Like, I forget what it was. It was just some video of him just like talking shit and like the tattoos and everything. I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
Fucking
I was
grills.
like, I was like, this guy can't be serious. But
I think
so
he's skeptical. But
I think he's great now.
You realize that, like, first of all, the bars are not as bad as I would say they were. And then, like, I'm looking at the image, and then you're like, oh, well, it's all, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's actually an interview he does on Hot Ones, and you know, when they eat the spicy wings, and he gets to the end and he breaks character a little bit. Like, he's just like a guy talking. He's just like, man, that's hot. Like, and you're like, oh, Riff Raff. It's not all just that like persona all the time. So it's obviously a marketing ploy, and that's like an extreme example in that case. But a lot of people are doing that, and that's we were talking about Russ a little while ago. He put out a single a week until he popped, right? And then he put out an album that he had in the vault. And that's super smart. I never even thought about that, but it's like, yeah, just keep putting a song out. One of them's going to get some buzz. Once eyes are on you, put a good project out.
It's like
and
Soul
it sounds
Sundays.
like Riggz, you're in position for this. You got a lot of stuff in the vault. Yeah, just this is it. I'm excited. And now I almost exposed your plan. All right. That's the Russ plan.
Shout out to fucking Russ, man. Shout out to Russ. You know what it is though? And Russ is a great example of this, but like being loved is kind of a slope. You know what I'm saying? Especially these days, because we live in a unique time right now, like where everybody wants to like make money, but nobody really wants to fucking do any work, or nobody wants to do traditional work. You know what I'm saying? So we live in a time where more people than ever have wanted to be stars or celebrities of some sort.
And I feel like people think now that, like, in the social media age, that it's easier to become a star now than it ever was. So they're like, this is my opportunity.
Exactly. Right. So, you know, initially when somebody comes out and they drop something good, the first reaction is a lot of the time is hate, right? But the reason that I say being loved is a slope is because, okay, Russ comes out and people like, this shit's trash, this shit's trash, this shit's trash. And then he breaks through and gets his fan base, right? And then he gets his fan base, and now he's starting to generate a lot more attention. So the people who are first hearing him are like, this shit's fucking trash. We hate Russ. We hate Russ. Now you're going out of your way to hate on Russ, and every time he drops something, it's like, oh, I hate this motherfucker. Let me go to his video to hate on it. Until all of a sudden one day you realize, oh, this shit's not that fucking bad. Oh shit, this is kind of hot. Now you went from being his number one hater to being a fucking fan. So
that's the Howard Stern tactic, right? It was like whatever, how many people would listen? They would listen longer if they hated him. Yeah, it's just how it works. And like I said, I've found myself guilty of this in the past. Like when you like just certain, especially people that are out there right now. I used to say this about Migos. I spent extra money to go see Migos at the Garden when they came with Drake. I was like, I used to think they were, not good. And now I'm like, I love Migos. Like, I just want the next
fucking
song.
Lit.
Yeah.
Migos is fucking lit, bro. And the thing I fuck with about Migos is that like they've gotten so much better over time too. Like I'm a definitely fuck with you if I see you improving. Like Lil Baby, like I thought Lil Baby couldn't rap a fucking lick when he first came out. And now he is fucking obliterating everything. So,
dude, he slaughtered Drake on his own track.
Oh my God, he destroyed
Which
Drake.
I didn't see. Yeah, he did. And I wouldn't have seen that coming, like you said, a few years ago when I first heard Lil Baby. I mean, first of all, the name turned me off. Like originally, I was like, Lil Baby. I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah,
me too.
Same with Dub Baby too, but I'm a fan of both of them now.
Do you think Dub Baby's gonna change up his flow ever?
I was driving to the bank and I was playing the song, and then Baby's verse came on, and like after the song finished, I just like turned the radio off for a second. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, you're like, wait, that dude can rap.
And so I tweeted out, I was like, yo, like did Lil Baby just go on Drake's track and just go absolutely fucking insane? I'm like, yo, this man's losing his mind right now. And then his verse on Cole shit was dope too. Like, he's rapping, bro. Yep. It's his time right now.
Yeah, and sometimes you got to give people.
What do you think about Cole's new album?
Shit's fucking dope, bro. Like, my thing with Cole was like, I thought Cole got a little too deep for himself for a little while there. You know what I'm saying? And like, there was a lot of ballads and shit like that. And I'll only say so much about that because I feel like artists need to be able to grow and need to be able to do different things with their music. But like, my favorite Cole album, my number one Cole album is Born Sinner. Because I felt like that was the perfect blend of cocky J. Cole, crude, crass J. Cole, but with higher consciousness as well. You know what I mean? I feel like it was the perfect blend. It was enough suck my dick and, oh, I know that I'm supposed to be a role model and I know I'm a dreamer at the same time and I got to make my mom proud. Right. But still, you bitch suck my dick. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that duality was perfect.
You got a little bit of everything, yeah.
Yeah, that duality was perfect on Born Sinner. So I was happy after Forest Hills Drive and after the one where he was folding clothes and shit like that to hear J. Cole just be fucking cocky again. You know what I mean?
The one where he was folding clothes.
Yeah, whatever.
For your eyes only, right?
For your eyes only, yeah. And so when he came back like that, it gave us feature J. Cole on an album that's really a mixtape. I was like, yeah, I'm fucking with this. This is dope.
I like everything he drops, honestly, but I was definitely impressed by the last album.
Yeah, bro. I'm living with this album for a while.
Yeah, no, it's definitely it's in heavy rotation for me. Mm-hmm. So you were an athlete, right? You played football.
Yes, sir.
So how did that journey go? Because you were big into football. You played in college too, right? You played at BC and then you played at Assumption. Mm-hmm. So when did you start playing?
All conference, BC High, all conference in college.
Talk your shit.
Yeah, man, I gotta pop my shit, bro. Grinded a lot. So I started playing football like my freshman year of high school. And I wanted to be a linebacker.
You didn't play before high school?
I figured you would have.
Oh, wow. No. Okay.
I wanted to be a fucking linebacker so bad. And then like the first day of freshman tryouts, like Coach Fassetti was like, you're going to play line. I'm like, but I'm faster than all the fucking linebackers. Yeah. What are you talking about? Because I just ended up playing line and just moving around. But that turned out to be like one of my greatest feats or my greatest features that like, you know, I was faster than pretty much everybody I was lining up against. He's a fucking burn offensive lineman. So like that just made room for me at the next level in college as well. You know what I mean? So
you play line in college too?
I played DN in nose tackle in 3 technique in college. So I moved all around the line. Yeah.
DN's fun. I feel like that's like you're going for it in DN. You catch people on the wing. That's the best.
Absolutely. Yeah. DN's a good time. You either fuck shit up in the middle when you nose tackle or you getting contact every play. So you got to be a sick motherfucker to really appreciate that shit. I'm super washed now though, bro. Like I am super washed right now when it comes to being an athlete, and I'll get back on my shit. But there's like no old dude football leagues that I can play in.
There's not a lot of.
I'm never playing football again unless somebody's giving me a check, bro. Like that shit.
Yeah, no, you don't need CTE unless you're getting paid for it.
Right.
Correct. Yeah. Correct.
Yeah, there's a lot of leading with head in high school. I just remember those days getting like bells rung. That was rough.
Correct. Now the only thing I want to lead with head is my women. That's it, man.
I realized my wording.
I knew there was a joke in there somewhere. As soon as you said that, I knew there was a joke in there somewhere.
Oh boy, yeah. Thank you for grabbing it. That's a clip. But
pause.
Yeah, I've said some pausable moments on this podcast.
You have. I feel like you do it on purpose sometimes.
You know, maybe that could be my secret. But you're a Boston sports fan, obviously.
Yeah.
You said you wanted to talk about the Celtics. So what's on your mind as far as the Celtics go? They won their play-in game last night.
That's what's on my fucking mind, yo. That's what's on my fucking mind. So I've completely given up on the Celtics this year.
Yeah,
me too. Every game. I tell myself I'm not gonna fucking watch the shit. I end up watching it anyways.
Yeah,
I've seen like every game this season. It sucks. So much pain.
I feel you.
But last night I'm watching the play-in, and I'm watching these motherfuckers go crazy. And for a second there, I was like, holy shit, we can do this shit. And I was like, whoa.
You know how many times I've thought that this season, only for them to get blown out the next night?
Exactly. I was like, dog, no matter how hard I try, the irrational Boston sports fan will always pop up in me.
Right.
Fucking sucks, bro. We have no shot against Brooklyn, but I'll be rooting.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a little bit excited. You know, if we can shock him in game 1, then who knows? Anything can happen. But yeah, we don't stand much of a chance.
Bro, in a fucking series, I'm like, man, we got to beat these dudes 4 times. Jason Tatum's got to be God 4 times. I don't know, bro.
I just hope we can win a couple and make it fun, at least for a little bit. But
I agree with that. I'm like, fuck Kemba. Like, go back to being Kemba when you was busting Kyrie's ass, giving him 60 points and shit like that, bro. Like,
a lot of inconsistency. A lot of inconsistency from Kemba, even from Tatum. It's like, you know, he scored 50 plus 3 times in the last month and a half, but every now and then he kind of disappears still. So, but he's still young. I feel like people are a little bit too impatient with him and Brown because they're both.
My shit is like, bro, don't give me 60 one night and then give me 14 the next. Like, come on, bro.
That's that Jeff Green shit.
Facts, bro. Facts. See, I know I'm talking to a real fucking Boston sports fan when you say some shit like that. That's a fact.
He used to do that all the time. He would drop 40 and then drop like 8 the next night. It was like, all right, what are we doing here?
Yep. Fucking bullshit, bro. All right, what are we doing with Cam, though? Like, why are we so connected to Brian Hoyer? Like, I feel like we're just antagonizing Cam the whole fucking time. Like, Brian Hoyer's not going to do shit.
Oh, no.
Is Stiddy still on the roster or no?
No, he's not.
Thank God. He's fucking terrible.
I think he is. And now we got Mac Jones. But I have faith that Cam can at least get us to the playoffs because we have good weapons this year. He had nobody last year.
And then he got COVID too. Like, that
and he got COVID.
A lot.
People forget about that.
Never the same after that.
He wasn't. What was it? Week 2 against Seattle when he was great that game. The one we lost.
Great.
I actually thought the whole season was going to end when a few people got COVID. I was like, oh, everyone's got COVID. There's no way. Like,
it was looking pretty bad at one point.
Getting shut down. Yeah.
But no, I have faith in Cam with the right weapons that he can be not 2015 MVP Cam. I think those days are over, but he can be a playoff quarterback, I think.
Yeah. I remember watching that game against Seattle and I was like, word. Like, and I was about to smash some cheeks, and I just remember turning off the TV, and I was like, "We got a quarterback." And then COVID, and then we had no quarterback. I was like, "What the fuck, bro?"
I remember when that game was going on, like towards the end of the 4th quarter, I was like, even if we lose this game, I was like, I feel good about this team. I was like, Cam looked really good tonight. That was actually Edelman's statistically best game of his career. I'm gonna be fucking sick if Edelman goes and joins Tom in Tampa Bay. Oh my God, fuck him if he does that. Honestly,
be surprised because Tom's sneaky.
It looks so much fun down there, bro. Like I can't even lie. It looks like so much fucking fun, dog.
It does look like a lot of fun. They're definitely having way more fun than they had with Belichick.
That's a fact, bro.
Brady tossing the trophy across the water, like getting
my man is free.
I think we all
my man is free right now. Sucks, dude. But those are all my sports takes.
What are your what's your final prediction for the Brooklyn series?
4-0, bro.
4-0, okay.
4-0.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty realistic.
Yeah, I was gonna say gentleman's sweep, but like I could totally see 4-0.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. But then, you know, if Tatum goes off for 50 plus, he could win them like a game. But we'll see.
It's not even a Tatum thing for me. It's just like, dog, like we still have to play fucking Shemi Ojale. It's like, bro, you can't shoot. Like for real, bro.
All right, our bench is trash, I will say. God, Grant Williams, trash. Like we don't need those guys getting those kind of minutes.
Grant Williams is terrible, bro.
He's really bad. Like he doesn't really. I'm like, what is he actually doing to contribute to the team when he's out there?
I fuck with the defense, but the offense is just so bad. It's like, get this dude off the floor, bro. What's up with all the undersized bigs? I'm like, come on.
And Tristan Thompson too, like incredible rebounder, but cannot finish around the rim. It's just frustrating.
My boy couldn't finish a sentence, bro.
Agreed.
Couldn't finish
It's tough
a
to watch. It's tough to watch.
Yeah, 12 and 12 last night, but I'm like, can we get 16? Can you give us 2 more buckets?
Yeah, those
Give us
12
2 more
points were all
buckets.
put back layups with no one around him. Like he doesn't have any post moves.
Bro, he has to gather everything. I'm like, dog, just go straight up with the fucking ball.
Right.
Every time they pass the ball, he's got to bounce. You don't have to dribble the ball. Go straight
nothing
up.
pisses me off more than a big man who brings the ball down every time they get it. I'm like, your advantage is being tall. If you hold it up here, the little guys can't get it. If you bring it down, they're going to strip you every time.
You know why? It's because they never get the fucking dribble. So any chance they get the ball, they want to put it on the ground. Just dunk the fucking ball. You're 10 feet tall, bro.
Seriously. Oh, man.
See, that's why God didn't give me height. I'd have been Shaq.
Do you ever play basketball?
I fucking suck at basketball.
Yeah.
Like I can dribble, I can defend, I can jump, I can do all of these things. I can't fucking shoot to save my life, bro.
Okay.
I can't fucking shoot
important.
to save my life.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't think everyone's gifted with that. Jack's a shooter, right?
I'm a shooter. I shoot.
Prestige worldwide. That was the
exactly.
Bro, that's a fucking fact. Dog, every time it's a pickup game and like we're out on the court, if there's a white boy there, I'm picking the white boy. I'm like, yo, fucking, if one thing a white boy gonna know how to do is fucking shoot that ball, goddammit.
That's me.
I'm taking my
That's
chance.
me. I can't do much else. I'm not gonna get to the rim. I'm not gonna lock down your best player, but if you get it to me wide open for 3, I'll knock it down. That's what I do.
That's a fact. That's a fact, bro. I'm like, give me fucking Brent Barry. Let's ride, bro.
Kyle Korver.
Facts.
Coming up screens.
Mike Miller. Give me all of that shit, bro. I'm with all of that.
Yep.
That's a fact.
So you got an album in the works, or what's the plan as far as dropping your next project?
So my next project, man, that's good. That's definitely gonna come after Soul Sunday has subsided, at least for the first season. To be honest with you, bro, like a lot of the things that's on Soul Sundays and that's coming out right now, a lot of those are ideas.
Okay.
So I just wanted to be free. I wanted to create. I wanted to give back. I wanted to fall in love with creating again. So a lot of the shit that's coming out on Soul Sunday right now is our ideas. And they may change a little bit. They may go on to an album. The album may sound nothing like that. I got a lot of songs that are done right now. So I'm having fun with the process. I do have albums done. But it's all about like when shit decides to happen. Because like if I switch the flavor of Soul Sunday and it's like some Afro pop shit or like some Caribbean sounding shit, and that pops, it's like holy fuck. Now I got to go back in the lab and create a whole album worth of this shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm just taking time, trying to sample it out right now, give people a bit of a period to adjust and see how they like this new soul that I'm trying to make. You know what I mean? And see how they feel about that shit. And then, we'll recalibrate. I can give you an answer right now, but I might be lying in a couple of weeks. So we'll see.
We'll just tease it. It's being teased. So can we get Riggz merch anywhere? Where do you have any like websites you'd want to plug?
So no, I don't got any websites that I want to plug right now. I'm actually redesigning a ton of merch right now. And a lot of shit's going to be based off of Soul Sundays. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to take my time with it and, work with the people that I'm working with.
A t-shirt with Uncle Leroy's face on it would be great.
So you're not the first person who said that, which is the funniest thing.
I would definitely rock that.
That's a fact. That's what's up, bro. So, I'm taking my time with the merch right now, and it's actually in development. So I'm working with some cool people right now to get that shit done, based around Soul Sundays and different shit like that. When that's available.
I want the merch. That sounds
word.
Yeah, we're always looking for merch to rock on the show. Yeah,
word,
absolutely.
I appreciate that shit.
Nice. So you said you're designing it. Do you submit the artwork yourself, or are you like working with people that actually make the clothes? Because we had someone on who their clothing XVI God Hano, what he had his guy, he was making the clothes, I think, whoever he was with. So I was kind of curious, like, do you have like tailors? Are you designing in that way too?
Bro, I got a homegirl who's like real dope with all of that shit. She's real dope with all of that stuff, man. And So I'm working with her, but I make a lot of the designs myself. Like, what would I want on a hoodie? You know what I'm saying? Like, I bought so much merch from different people, from people who had small clothing lines to mainstream artists to blah, blah, blah. And like, I have so many pieces that I love. And I'm like, damn, I want to make something that I love just as much as this, but that's my own shit and that somebody else would cherish if they got this as well. So the biggest thing is like quality, making sure that the fabric holds up, make sure you can wash it a million times and it still be dope. You know what I mean? But as far as like designs and stuff like that, I'll make that myself. But when it comes to actually getting it on the material and shit like that, get it to the experts, bro.
Yeah, exactly. That's a whole, I mean, you wear so many hats. It would be tough to be a tailor as well.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. I guess before we wrap up, is there anything else you'd want to plug, or did you any social medias? And also, if that's a premature wrap up, stop me. But is there anything you'd want to plug or anyone you want to shout out?
Yeah, man. Shout out to all the women with fat asses out there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the women with fat asses. But ladies, you got to understand that it's not just about fat asses. Okay,
here we go.
The ass just has to be nice. It doesn't have to be amazingly huge. It just got to be fucking nice.
Right.
Nice
Tight.
asses don't get enough recognition.
Yeah.
So shout out to the women with nice asses. Titties are always luxurious and they're many different shapes and sizes. So shout out to y'all too. Ladies, if there's anything that you can work on, just make sure your lips are always nice. Make sure that, you know what I'm saying, you always got your nails did, you know what I'm saying, or something like that. And if you don't got no money to get it done, hit somebody up. Not me necessarily.
I thought you were about to say
that I gotta deal with.
Yeah.
But hit somebody up. That man in your life who always trying to get some buns, ask that motherfucker for some money to get them nails done.
Make him earn those buns. Make him earn those buns.
Make them earn the buns. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that shit, man. I appreciate y'all boys for having me on here, man.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah,
So
man. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, I'll put your social media up. We got Riggz and
Damn Riggz.
Oh, Damn Riggz, right? Yeah. So yeah, we'll put that up. Awesome. Thanks again for coming on. Yeah, we'll definitely be in touch. We got you on lock. This is awesome. We're looking forward to everything coming out.
Yeah, sir. I appreciate y'all, man. We'll tap in when I get back to Boston, yo.
For sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Peace.